The story focuses on a man named Murdoch. This is him. Murdoch wakes up inside a bathtub with no memory at all. He doesn't remember anything about who he is or what happened. He accidentally knocks over a fish tank and ends up putting the fish into the water in the bathtub. While getting dressed, Murdoch finds a card that says Shell Beach. Not long after that, he receives a phone call from someone who claims to be a doctor. The doctor tells him that Murdoch's memories were erased by a group of people who were experimenting on him. But before Murdoch can even process that or try to find out what really happened, he's shocked by the discovery of a woman's dead body, forcing him to immediately run away.
Hello? Are you there?
Murdoch heads down to the lobby, where the time shows exactly 12 minutes flat. In fact, all the clocks are frozen at 12 o'clock, and everyone around him is unconscious, except for Murdoch. Moments later, time starts moving again, and everyone suddenly wakes up. The motel clerk tells Murdoch that he's been staying there for 3 weeks. After checking the guest book, Murdoch finally learns his name is J. Murdoch. As he walks away, Murdoch tries to guess what the J stands for. Eventually, he remembers his first name is John. John Murdoch.
Is it J something Murdoch? My name's Jason Murdoch. John Murdoch.
Like the lazy ocean hugs the shore.
Meanwhile, the story shifts to a bar. There, we meet a beautiful singer named Emma, who turns out to be John's wife. She's told that someone wants to meet her, and it turns out to be the same doctor who called John earlier. The doctor admits that he's John's personal physician. He explains that he's visited John several times in the past to help ease his anxiety after Emma's betrayal. It's revealed that Emma had an affair with another man, and John chose to stay away from her because of it.
John told you what happened.
Yes. I understand how difficult this must be for
The
you.
doctor also explains that John suffers from a form of memory loss along with mild delusions. The main reason for this meeting is to ask Emma to immediately contact him if John ever shows up.
Do you understand? It is imperative that I be the first one to reach him.
Back at the crime scene where John woke up earlier, an inspector, let's just call him the inspector, and his team begin investigating all the clues one by one. They conclude that there may be multiple suspects involved in a murder.
J. Murdoch stops to save a dying fish.
Emma is then called to the police station to meet the inspector. She completely refuses to believe that her husband could have killed a woman. But things get worse when the inspector tells her that John didn't just kill one woman. He allegedly killed 6 prostitutes. Shocked, Emma leaves the station immediately.
Just give me half a second.
Back to John, who still doesn't remember anything. He runs into a woman, well, to put it politely, a lady of the night. With her help, John manages to escape from 2 police officers who were suspicious of him.
Killer out there in case you hadn't noticed. Maybe you should be out looking for him instead of cooling your heels.
She takes John to her place, assuming he's a rich customer. But when she starts taking off her clothes, John quickly leaves. He already knows where things are going, and it's not something he wants to be involved in.
I'll be right out.
At this point, the only clue John has is the car that says Shell Beach. He believes this place might hold the answers to who he really is and what actually happened. Later, John spots a billboard that reads Shell Beach and climbs up, hoping to find some kind of truth there. Suddenly, several pale-skinned men dressed entirely in black appear. When John asks, "Who are you?" they reply with a question of their own. "Who are you?" One of them tries to hypnotize John like a stage mentalist by raising his hand and saying sleep, but they're shocked when the hypnosis doesn't work on him. Instead, John does something unbelievable. He turns out to have telekinetic, or psychokinetic, abilities, allowing him to manipulate objects with his mind. This is proven when structures collapse, and one of the men ends up dead. It's unclear what the creature is, but it looks like some kind of jellyfish, soft, jelly-like, with multiple tentacles, almost like something out of SpongeBob. However, the creature instantly dies the moment it comes into direct contact with the air. The scene shifts to Emma being escorted home by the inspector. Before leaving, he tells her to contact him immediately if she ever runs into John. After that, Emma is told to go inside and get some rest. Thanks to the address he had in his pocket, John somehow ends up at Emma's place first. He's already sitting there, waiting for her, hoping to finally figure out who he really is and what actually happened. But Emma doesn't remember anything either. She even ends up asking him questions back, making their conversation completely disconnected and confusing.
I have lost my mind, but whoever I am, I'm still me, and I'm not a killer.
I don't understand.
I met her outside.
That's when the inspector suddenly shows up. Turns out, he never really left. The moment he sees John, he's eager to arrest him. Not wanting her husband to be taken in for something that isn't even proven yet, Emma tells John to run, while she stays behind to hold the inspector off. For the second time, John reveals his extraordinary telekinetic abilities. Cornered and desperate, he somehow creates a door out of nowhere, allowing him to escape with ease. While fleeing in a taxi, John asks the driver, "Do you know a beach called Shell Beach?" The driver confidently replies, "Of course, boss." But strangely enough, when John asks for directions on how to get there, the driver admits he doesn't remember and has no idea where the beach actually is.
That's funny. I can't seem to remember if it's Main Street West or the Cross.
Feeling like he's finally far enough from the inspector, John gets out of the taxi and looks at the card again. On the back, there's a name, Carl Harris. He then goes to a nearby payphone and manages to find Carl Harris's name and home address in the phone book.
There's Carl.
John approaches a newspaper vendor to ask for directions to Carl Harris's house. He's immediately confused when he realizes the vendor looks exactly like the hotel receptionist we saw earlier in the movie. After taking a train and traveling for about 12 hours, John finally arrives at Carl Harris's home. Carl seems genuinely happy to see him. It's revealed that Carl Harris is actually John's uncle, his father's older brother.
I looked after you. You don't remember that, really?
Glad to have you back, Johnny. Even if it is for just an hour.
Uncle Carl shows John photos from his childhood. In the pictures, John notices burn scars on his arm. When he asks about it, Carl explains that John was once involved in a fire that injured his arm. But when John checks his arm now, there are no scars at all. This makes him believe the photos are nothing more than lies or fabricated memories.
These are all lies!
You burnt your arm pretty bad in a fire.
While sitting in the bathtub, John starts connecting all the strange and impossible things he's experienced. Clock stopping at exactly midnight while everyone falls asleep. Mysterious pale people dressed in black. Telekinetic powers appearing out of nowhere. And the newspaper vendor who looks identical to the hotel receptionist. But what's even stranger is that throughout his entire escape and search for answers, the sun has never risen. Daytime never comes. Even though John has been awake for over 24 hours, the sky stays dark, making it clear that something is seriously wrong with this city.
If you're tired, anything's possible. Look,
While John is in his old room, Uncle Carl secretly calls Emma, who happens to still be with the inspector, and asks her to come pick John up as soon as possible. They believe John is suffering from delusions and imagining all these strange events.
Keep him there and I'll be right over.
I'll try.
John overhears the conversation and immediately leaves, feeling like no one believes what he's going through. When the clock hits midnight, everyone instantly falls asleep. Vehicles stop dead in their tracks, except for John, who remains awake and witnesses something even more unbelievable. The buildings around him begin to move and reshape themselves, as if the world itself isn't real.
Hello? Wake up! Hey! Can anybody hear
That's when the pale-skinned figures return and try to kill him. Luckily, the inspector shows up just in time, allowing John to escape once again. Back at the police station, the inspector interrogates John to uncover the motive behind the murders he's accused of. Instead of getting answers, the inspector grows even more confused when John asks about what they usually do during the daytime. The inspector pauses and says, "You know what? The sun really doesn't exist in this place." That's when John begins to explain all the strange things happening in the city, including the powers he possesses, leaving the inspector completely stunned. Not long after, Emma arrives to visit John. During their conversation, John overhears that Emma once visited a doctor who claimed to be John's personal physician. Emma gives John the doctor's address, hoping he might finally have answers to all these questions. The inspector agrees to help him as well, after personally witnessing John's powers and starting to believe that everything John has been saying is real.
Just wants us to think it did.
John finally manages to meet the doctor, and the guy goes straight to the point. No small talk at all. He tells John that John is actually one of their experiment subjects. Not just John, but everyone in the city is part of the experiment created by those pale-faced people.
But you are the subject of their experiment. We all are.
If John wants to know the full truth, the doctor says he has to inject a serum that will unlock all the answers. He also warns John that time is running out, so he has to take the injection before it's too late. Right then, the inspector shows up and starts threatening the doctor, suspecting that he might be working with them, or even be one of their agents. John then asks the doctor to take him to Shell Beach, a place everyone knows exists, but no one knows how to get to.
That's where you want to go, isn't it? The ocean. Guess I'll just have to hold on to it for safekeeping.
At the same time, Emma is approached by the pale-faced beings, who are clearly trying to find out where John has gone. Back to John. Now at the edge of the city, the inspector and the doctor get onto a small boat, just like the doctor said. That's when the doctor finally starts explaining how all of this began. Everything started in darkness. Then the Pale Ones appeared, kidnapping people and bringing them to this place. And here's the shocking part. They're actually aliens. They take dead human bodies and use them as shells or vessels. We already saw their real form earlier when John killed one of them. Something jelly-like, almost like a floating squid. This city and everyone inside it is one massive experiment. They mix and swap people's memories to study and understand what makes humans unique.
They mix and match our memories as they see fit, trying to divine what made when they first brought us here. They extracted what was in us.
Today, the inspector might be a cop, but on another day, he could be a tire repairman. Just like when John saw a newspaper vendor who looked exactly like the hotel receptionist from earlier. Turns out, that wasn't a coincidence at all. It was the same person, just with a different set of memories.
The next, someone entirely different. These do bring back memories, even a lost wallet. They may observe the results.
What's even crazier is that these aliens have telekinetic powers. They can reshape buildings, put everyone to sleep at the same time, and even make their bodies float. They do all of this precisely at midnight, when the aliens underground combine their powers, creating enough energy to completely redesign the city in an instant. So what's the goal of this experiment?
They're dying, you see. Their entire race is on the brink of extinction.
It turns out the alien race is dying. Their jelly-like bodies are extremely fragile, especially when exposed to extreme conditions, like oxygen. We saw this when John killed one of them, and the alien died instantly after being exposed to open air. This experiment is their attempt to study humanity. Humans are considered special because we can adapt, survive, and evolve based on our circumstances. What the aliens really want is our memories, what they believe to be the human soul, how we think, how we survive. That's why they create different life scenarios every single day, then extract everyone's memories at midnight. In other words, Everyone in this city has lived countless different lives without realizing it.
Our souls, that makes us different from them. They think we can save them. This city, everyone in it, is their experiment.
Out of all the humans, only the doctor was chosen to work with them, since the alien still needed one human to help understand human thinking. But when asked who he was before all this, even the doctor doesn't know. His past was erased before he became part of the alien organization.
Can you imagine what it is like being forced to erase your own past?
Now back to John. Somehow, he develops the same telekinetic abilities as the aliens. After having his life reset hundreds of times, John's brain evolved at an incredible rate, giving him powers similar to theirs. Once the aliens realized this, John became a threat, someone who could destroy the experiment and endanger their entire race.
They control everything here, even this.
Back to the journey. The three of them finally reach the end of the road, but they still have to walk through a narrow tunnel. When John sees a door and believes Shell Beach is right on the other side, he's shocked to find nothing but a giant poster stuck to a wall. Curious about what's behind it, John and the inspector decide to break through the wall, despite the doctor warning them not to. When they do, they're hit with an even bigger shock. Beyond the wall is outer space. At that moment, the aliens appear, along with Emma, and a fight breaks out. The inspector and one of the aliens are thrown beyond the wall and through the city's protective barrier. And trust me, you at home won't be any less shocked when it's revealed that this entire city is nothing more than a massive alien spaceship. Because Emma is being threatened, John is forced to go along with them and is taken to the alien headquarters underground. This is where he finally meets the leader of the aliens. While the rest of the aliens agree that John should be killed, the leader has a different idea. Instead of killing him, he wants to take John's memories, which he considers the ultimate achievement of their experiment. John, who evolved at an incredible speed, is seen as having the perfect mind or the perfect soul. The alien leader believes that John's memories might be the key to solving the extinction problem their race is currently facing.
We won with John Murdoch. We no longer need the other subjects. The
doctor is then ordered to extract John's memories and replace them with new ones. But without the aliens realizing it, or without you knowing, humans have one special ability that no other species has: the ability to lie and betray.
No more disobedience.
I'm sorry, John, so they can share your soul.
Secretly, the doctor has already created a serum containing hundreds of memories, designed to make someone feel like they've already lived an entire lifetime. In other words, this serum allows a person to learn things almost instantly. And what's inside it is basically a full tutorial on telekinesis, how it works, and how to fully control and enhance the power.
Been fabricated to teach you about the strangers, give you a lifetime of knowledge. Something's wrong, but you must concentrate.
So when John wakes up, he easily breaks free from his restraints and immediately clashes with the alien leader. Their powers collide, creating a massive energy sphere that accidentally destroys the alien headquarters and even damages the surface of the city above. The fight continues on top of the city, where John can now float through the air like Superman. The alien throws a knife, but John stops it mid-air, and in the end, the alien leader is the one who dies in a brutal way. After all the aliens are wiped out, John goes back to the doctor to ask about Emma. Unfortunately, Emma now has a new life. Before everything happened, she had already been injected with new memories, and the doctor can't do anything about it, because the storage containing Emma's original memories was destroyed along with the alien base during John's fight with the alien leader.
What are you going to do now?
The doctor then explains that John now has telekinetic power equal to that of 500 aliens combined. With that level of power, John alone can reshape the entire city however he wants. Using his abilities, John opens the water channels, causing water to flood the edges of the ship until it reaches the city's protective barrier. Without meaning to, he ends up making every conspiracy theorist's dream come true, a flat world, with the ocean ending at a massive wall. Not only does he create an ocean, but John also rotates the city to face the sun. The reason the city was always dark and stuck in nighttime was because the aliens were afraid of sunlight. It could destroy them. And honestly, they didn't even need sunlight. Just exposure to oxygen was enough to kill them instantly. Even so, we still never find out where they came from or what their past really was. At the very least, John can now live a normal life in a city. He can reshape however he wants, like an open world game, but with mods enabled and cheats turned on. Even though Emma doesn't remember him, John still goes to see her, enjoying the ocean he created himself. From this point on, their relationship can move forward normally, just with a fresh start from zero. And that's the end.
I'm Anna, by the way.